Toyota Finance 86 Championship is New Zealand's premier one-make category for saloon cars. The series provides close racing over 6 rounds across New Zealand.
It's going to be closer than it's ever been before, absolutely. We were in the hunt last year. We had a really strong start to the season. We were leading halfway through. We're definitely back and we're trying to win it for sure.
It's really good. It's got a lot of grip and the brakes are awesome. Obviously, I want to win. I want to do as well as I can. I know it's going to be a steep learning curve. I don't know any of the tracks. I'm always going to be a little bit on the back foot, but every time I go out in it, I'm learning a lot.
I'm looking forward to the challenge. I want to be winning races and finishing at the front, and hopefully I can win the championship. That's the goal.
The champion will win a drive in the support races at the Bathurst 1000 weekend in Australia. Based on the Toyota 86 Sports Saloon, these cars run race-spec shocks, big brakes, Motec dash and Michelin race slicks, along with the normal safety equipment.
Hi everyone, I'm Sam McNeil. Welcome to Hampton Downs, just south of Auckland for round 2 of the Toyota Finance 86 Championship. Earlier in the month, the 86ers supported the V8 supercars at Pukekohe, and the man to beat was Ash Blewett.
Hi, I'm Ash Blewett and I drive the Mobil 1 Toyota TR86. Pukekohe can be a challenging track. It's bumpy, which makes it really hard to set a car up for, and it can unsettle a car quite a lot. So the key is probably to have a car that you have a lot of confidence in and to be able to give full commitment to some of those fast corners. We did a lot of homework beforehand. We really studied over our notes from the past couple of seasons that we've been competing in the championship, this season being our third, and studied the data that we'd collected quite carefully as well. So we've had good success at Pukekohe in the past, and we were confident that we could do well there again, but we really did our homework to make sure we had our best chance. It's expected, I guess, given how dominant we were at Pukekohe, that we're going to be the ones to beat at this stage. It doesn't really affect us, though, in any way in terms of how we approach the weekend, because we're always going to be, you know, trying to do our absolute best, and that's what we really want to do. Probably the trickiest corner here at Hampton Downs is perhaps turn 1. It's blind, it's fast, and it's downhill, and it's got some pretty tough concrete walls around it as well. So it's in the past brought a couple of people out, and it can be an area that can give you a lot more lap speed if you do get it just right.
So then, after round 1, Ash Blewett has 225 points, Quinn has 201, John Penny has 168, then it's Scott, Hamilton, Yardley, Jacob Smith and Mike Lightfoot round out the top 8.
We've just heard from Ash Blewett about the benefits of 2 years of data when he comes to a track. On the other side of that, we've got rookies like Jacob Smith, who every track they go to, they're learning and trying to get up to speed. So Jacob, how do you go about getting up to speed as quickly as possible?
Yeah, it's obviously quite hard. I mean, being a rookie driver and just coming out of Formula First, jumping into one of these is quite a big jump. So obviously just working with the team and looking at different data and seeing where I'm losing time and seeing where I'm gaining time. It's all part of the process to try and gain speed around here.
And we're about to go into qualifying. You had 4 practice sessions yesterday. How did you go?
Yeah, probably not as good as we wanted to, but it's all learning. You know, still got to find a bit of pace for qualifying, and we'll see how it goes.
So let's head into qualifying and see how Jacob and the rest of the field go.
Rain was threatening as the cars came out on track, and Michael Scott was the first to test the limits with this spin. Reid Harker had crashed heavily in round 1, but looked confident and in the top 3 early on. But as the track and tyres heated up, the experienced drivers made their move. Callum Quinn and John Penny into the 1 minute 14 bracket. But it was Ash Blewett who came through to take pole with a 1 minute 14.1. While Michael Scott managed to slip onto the front row and position 2. His last flying lap, a 1 minute 14.7.
Michael, nervous moment there at the start, but front row start.
Yeah, well, it's fantastic. The Corvette car's been hooked up all weekend, but yeah, it was an awfully scary moment there for a sec at the start of the qualifying.
So yeah, wet weather at the start. Did it take a wee while for the temperature to come up in the tyres?
Seriously, took a long time to heat up the tyres. Those opening laps were really treacherous.
Reid, big rebuild since round 1, and you've gone out top 6. Good effort.
Yeah, we need to make a few changes for the car, but I mean, positive changes. So the guys did a great job putting the car back together. It looks better than brand new. So huge thanks to everyone who helped us get back out on track this weekend.
And you think you can race your way through in race 1?
Yeah, definitely. We know where we need to be with the car, and I need to sort of tidy some things up, but I'm still learning. It's my obviously first full season in the series. So, I'm definitely looking to sort of move forward in the race.
Coming up, we have the action from the very wet race 1 of the Toyota Finance 86 Championship.
Welcome back to Hampton Downs, south of Auckland, for the Toyota Finance 86 Championship. A big motivation for winning this year is the opportunity to drive at Bathurst in the 2016 Toyota Australia 86 Championship. But right now, it's time for race 1.
The grid then for race 1 sees Ash Blewett in pole position, and alongside him, Michael Scott. Then row 2 sees Callum Quinn and John Penny. Row 3, Ryan Yardley and Reid Harker. Row 4, Matt Hamilton and veteran Kenny Smith. Then it's the youngsters on row 5, Jacob Smith and Caleb Cross. Row 6 sees Mike Lightfoot and Bruce Tomlinson. Row 7 is Thomas Stokes and Tiffany Chittenden. Final position, Craig Innes. It's going to be an interesting start. The rain coming just before the start there. All on slick tyres, but as you can see, the wipers on and away we go. Great start from Penny. John Penny is away and already alongside Ash Blewett, the pole man. Michael Scott alongside him, but it's Penny going into the first corner. Ash Blewett will try down the inside. Oh, this is going to be tight. They're side by side through turn 1. Blewett just adjusting. Great driving from the championship leader. A spin, and that is Michael Scott, the man on the front row who spun round. And Blewett takes the lead ahead of Penny. And Callum Quinn heads into 3rd place now on this first lap. Drama already, and Michael Scott, who started on the front row, is spun out of contention and out of the race in race 1. Everybody else cleanly through, but it's Ash Blewett, the championship leader, the man who won all 3 races in round 1, as we go on board with Matt Hamilton. Hamilton coming into the series for the first time, but bags of experience, a 14-time New Zealand karting champion and many titles along the way. Really enjoying the prospect of racing here in the Toyota Finance 86 Championship. Everybody just tiptoeing around the circuit on slick tyres, remember. This is going to be a real challenge. Here's another look at the start. Look at John Penny's start from the 2nd row. And just after a few yards, he's right alongside, in fact, ahead of Blewett. Blewett did a great job of holding his line. As we go on board with Matt Hamilton. Hamilton starting 7th on the grid, but we should see from this angle what happened to Michael Scott, who's in front of us right now. Reid Harker to his right. And it looks as though as they head through, yes, Scott just gets turned around. Reid Harker nudges him, but I think Reid Harker was also touched. Let's have a look as we go on board with Callum Quinn. Yes, a tap from Quinn. And that was it was a concertina effect, and that led to Harker hitting Scott. Scott had nowhere to go, and the Care Vets man will be bitterly disappointed having started from the front row. Back with Reid Harker in the all-white number 4 machine. Contested most recently in Formula Ford and BMW single-seaters. Has done a bit of 86, was 13th overall last year. The man from Albany doing a good job of holding off the number 99 of Matthew Hamilton and Kenny Smith. Kenny Smith, 73 years of age and still going strong. An incredible story that includes an MBE. And here he is in the rain against the youngsters in the Toyota Finance 86 Championship. Would you believe it? There is a young man out there, Caleb Cross, just 15 years of age, fighting against him, and he's behind Kenny right now, as Kenny again comes up the inside and tries to show Matthew Hamilton of the Auckland City Toyota team a way to go. Kenny loses out, though. Not great visibility, all on slicks as they head into turn 2, and Ash Blewett building on that lead at the moment. But everybody carefully going about their business. I think Michael Scott has come into the pits, and he will go now onto wet weather tyres because the conditions are not getting any better. The rain coming just before the start, and that really threw the cat amongst the pigeons. Talking of which, here comes Caleb Cross on his elder statesman, Kenny Smith. Nicely done by the youngster for Caleb Cross Motorsport. And into the downhill left-hander they go. And just taking a nice wide line. And it's so important to get the drive out of this corner as we go back on board with Ash Blewett, the championship leader, as he comes towards the line. And Blewett is building on that lead, but he's a maestro around Hampton Downs. It doesn't matter what the conditions are. Look at him diving into turn one. This is where you can still see that. Look how he's fighting the car. Very, very slippy. But that great overtake to take the lead over Penny at the start. Absolutely brilliant. Callum Quinn, high expectations for this season. He was top 5 most of last year. And the Aucklander, the youngster, knows just what it means to be successful in the 86 Championship. It's all about consistency, and it's all about getting results each and every race weekend. Now, Kenny Smith lining himself up for an overtake on the 111 car of Caleb Cross. He looks to the inside at turn 2, but can't do it. And Kenny Smith using all his experience and not intimidating the young 15-year-old, though. And this is a good battle. And look at this, Michael Scott's joined it now. Scott having been in the pits and now on wet weather tyres and looking to side his way through the field with a little bit more grip than most. And let's see what grip he's got. He gets past Smith, does he? Yes. And I think he's going to go past Caleb Cross. So you can see that Michael Scott is on the move and he's out to score some big points as they head down into the second gear left-hander. And a nice tight turn as we go back with Ash Blewett. Here comes Blewett then, winding himself up to finish this race. He's the #1 man in this championship for sure. That's 4 from 4 as he takes the checkered flag here for race 1 at Hampton Downs. Rain or shine, Ash Blewett is the man of the moment in Tin Tops in New Zealand. A brilliant victory, and look at the gap he's built up in this first race on slick tyres. John Penny, the former V8 man, comes across the line in second place, and with lights ablaze, Callum Quinn is third. Confirmation of the result then, West City Motorsport and Ash Blewett take victory over John Penny, then Callum Quinn third, Matthew Hamilton fourth, Reid Harker fifth, Caleb Cross sixth, Lightfoot seventh, and Kenny Smith rounds out the top 8.
So John's still learning the car and we throw up a wet race on slick tyres. That's a bit rough.
Yeah, it is actually. I was actually quite impressed how the car handled on the wet. I got a great start. Neil's given me the go on how to do that, and I thought I actually had the whole shot. So I was quite happy to come out in second after turn 1. But hey, yeah, it just the pace was too quick out front. But consolidate points. As you say, in the wet, anything can happen. So, no, great result.
So Callum, one of those races where you could lose a lot of points if you made a mistake.
Oh, absolutely. The most of the race was just sort of hanging on to the thing. I was catching up to JP for a little while there, but towards the end I saw the gap back and just sort of sat into it and waited for the end of the race, basically just holding on to it. It was very, very slippery.
Mate, you're 3 seasons in now, and you've started the championship probably the best you have in either of the seasons so far. Can you go one better?
Oh, absolutely. I think we've definitely got the pace for Ash as the weekend goes on. I think we've got a little bit of development to do in the dry, definitely, but towards the end of the weekend we should hopefully be right up there with him.
So Ash, John Penny got a great jump off the line. You held him off, and then you made it look easy, but I bet it wasn't.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, John's start was excellent. He pulled up beside us quite easily, and I think it was pretty close to taking the lead through turn 1, but very big credit to him for giving us space to get through there as well. So clean race from us two at the front, and from there managed to pull a bit of a gap and managed to control from there, which was really good.
Still to come on the Toyota Finance 86 Championship, the spotlight is on Tiffany Chittenden and Race 2 action. Welcome back to the Toyota Finance 86 Championship. It's time now for our Lighting Plus Spotlight with Tiffany Chittenden.
Hi, I'm Tiffany Chittenden from the Lighting Plus race team. Today, I'm going to talk about how I fit in my race car. Firstly, the race seat. This is my office, so I need to make sure not only am I comfortable, but also I'm secure. I'm a little bit short, so I'm the only one that can fit in my race seat at the moment. I use a little bit of padding, and it's not like your normal road car seat. You can't slide it forward and backwards. So you just have to make sure it's bolted where I'm, like I said, comfortable and secure. So as well as being a little bit short, my feet were also a little bit small. So the team have had to raise my heels up in order for me to be able to reach each pedal. And finally, the steering wheel. We're not going to get too far without this. We just want to make sure you're in a good position so you're in full control. You've got full leverage. So not too far away, but also not too close.
Thanks, Tiff. So the perfect seating position really is unique to every driver. And as we head into race 2, our pole man, Ken Smith, he'll be propped up on about 4 inches of padding. Let's head to the track now and see how they go.
So a reverse top 8 grid for race 2, and it's veteran Kenny Smith on pole. Alongside him, Mike Lightfoot. Row 2, rookie Caleb Cross and Reid Harker. Row 3, Matt Hamilton and Callum Quinn. Row 4, John Penny and race 1 winner Ash Blewett. Then on row 5, it's Jacob Smith and Tiffany Chittenden. And then row 6 is Innes and Yardley. Perfect conditions for race 2 here at Hampton Downs. And Kenny Smith on pole position. And alongside him, Mike Lightfoot. Lightfoot tucks himself in behind Kenny Smith in the number 11. And already Reid Harker getting a good start as we go on board with John Penny. It's going to be interesting to see how Penny and Blewett try to weave their way through the field early on. And it is Kenny Smith who leads the way, only just though, as Reid Harker goes round the outside. Excellent start from the second row by the youngster, and he's side by side as we go on board with Lightfoot. Look at this, Harker tapping Kenny Smith, now the right-hander. Harker's got the advantage, but for how long? He does sweep round, somehow taking the lead. Kenny Smith also losing out to Mike Lightfoot, who goes into second place. And look, here comes Ash Blewett in the number 66. Blewett already in the lead group. What a frenetic start over the dust from oil put down earlier. Nobody having problems through there. Everybody cleanly onto the back straight. But it is Reid Harker who leads the way from Mike Lightfoot in second place, and then Ash Blewett. John Penny struggling to find a way past. He's trying to get past the number 99 of Matthew Hamilton. On the inside there, Caleb Cross going through as we're on board now with the youngster, trying to get the drive out of the last turn, looks at his mirrors, and up the famous hill at Hampton Downs. Perfect conditions for racing here in race 2. Reverse grid always throws up some good racing from the best of them. And Reid Harker trying to hold on now as Blewett, as you can see, already all over the back of Lightfoot. And likewise, John Penny going through the Aucklander. Makes easy work of Matt Hamilton just there at turn 1. A classic overtake at Hampton Downs. And through goes Penny as he goes in pursuit now of Blewett. Kenny Smith still fighting with the number 99 of Matthew Hamilton. So great start to this one. Reid Harker leads the way, the youngster, at the moment. But here comes Ash Blewett very quickly indeed. Got on pace from that reverse start and a spin, and round goes the number 99. Whoa, all sorts of drama. That was the number 18 getting up on 2 wheels there. And Ryan Yardley almost went over. Michael Scott involved too in the number 17. So 3 cars involved. Meanwhile, Reid Harker now leads from Ash Blewett, who moves into second place. And John Penny is looming in 4th to try and get past Lightfoot, who is currently in 3rd place. Damage, it looks like. And that's Caleb Cross in trouble. And the bodywork rubbing on the car there. He hasn't got a puncture, but it looks as though he's slowing down for sure. In fact, dramatically, as through goes Kenny Smith. And following him right there is Jacob Smith as well. And either Cross is going to come in or try to struggle round. I hope there's a safety car. And sure enough, the number 99 is out of the race. Meanwhile, Reid Harker under massive pressure now. Lightfoot goes wide, but here comes Ash Blewett again. And Penny coming through the inside. Well, as Lightfoot went wide, Penny didn't need a second invitation. And he does get through, just through turns 3. Nicely done, and Lightfoot losing out. Penny is through, and now goes in pursuit of the leaders. Blewett looking to try and get past Reid Harker. They go past the debris of the accident, and will that bring out the safety? I think it will. Harker now trying to hold off Blewett for all he can. And meanwhile, John Penny is catching them quickly. Sure enough, the safety car is out. No surprise then. And here's a look at the Motul replay. Kenny Smith just nudging around Matt Hamilton, and that led the number 18 to take avoiding action, and somehow Ryan Yardley stays there. But Michael Scott again in the wars. It's not turning into a big weekend. Here's a look from Matt Hamilton. And great sponsorship views there of the Care Vets. Here it is from Ryan Yardley. Boom, up on 2 wheels, but the youngster survives. Caleb Cross almost missed the incident, but as you see, just clips it there, and that's what led to the damage to his front leg. So then, we will restart this one. John Penny looking very racy indeed at the restart as he challenges Ash Blewett. I think these two are going to go head-to-head. What a start from Penny. He goes up the inside and takes the lead. Oh, brilliant start from the former V8 man to take both the leaders at the start. And Thomas Stokes challenging Caleb Cross at the restart. Cross struggling somewhat, and whoa! And contact again and into the gravel. And out they come. That's car number 6. That's Thomas Stokes. Dragged out, and another safety car with Penny leading this time. And Blewett will try to pounce back as they go for the restart again here in race 2. Penny versus Blewett, as it was in the rain on race 1. But Penny leads the way. Blewett tries to go around the outside and tucks himself in. Reid Harker stays third, ahead of Lightfoot in fourth. Lightfoot just takes fourth position, but he's under pressure too. Good restart, and it's Callum Quinn putting the pressure on Lightfoot, looking at the inside of turn 2. Quinn side by side as we go on board with Smith. Jacob Smith's got the best view of it, and Lightfoot's well out of shape there, trying to stay ahead of Callum Quinn, and does so just. Jacob Smith will find himself alongside Callum, and he does, but the number 91 goes through. Quinn uses the experience and stays ahead of Jacob Smith, the youngster. So, what a race race 2 has turned out to be. Meanwhile, John Penny leads the way and is looking for his first victory in the series. Ash Blewett in the number 66 has other ideas. He's won 4 from 4 and doesn't want to let up. Little further back, and sure enough, Caleb Cross is out. Damage this time to the right rear, big puncher, and he is out. Up the hill we go then to cross the line again. Penny versus Blewett. Blewett winding himself up for an overtake. Looks to the inside. Good defensive driving by Penny, but he can't stop Blewett. That's his favourite overtake, Ash Blewett, rain or shine. And Blewett pulls it off. That was excellent driving by the championship leader. And that was textbook overtaking at Hampton Downs, and Penny could do nothing about it. Will he come back? He's going to try to stay with him, that's for sure, the number 22. And this has been a good battle between the Neil Allport Motorsport team and, of course, West City Motorsport, who lead the race with Ash Blewett looking for their 5th victory. Here comes Callum Quinn up the inside of Mike Lightfoot. Another place made up then. Nicely done by the experienced Callum Quinn. Desperate to score well here in 2015, having had a good run last year, but wants more from this season. But the man who wants most is Ash Blewett, and he's out front again and coming towards the end of this race. He comes down the back straight, totally dominating proceedings. John Penny tried to challenge him, but just couldn't. And as we come to the final 2 corners of this race, on board with Jacob Smith, as we go through the long right-hander and then back up the hill. But Ash Blewett, here in the sunshine of Hampton Downs, has done it again. This is going to be 5 from 5 for the man from Auckland. Blewett wins in style yet again. There's the checkered flag. John Penny will follow him home, and Reid Harker is 3rd. Confirmation of race 2 results then. Ash Blewett with the win, ahead of John Penny in 2nd place, and Reid Harker on the podium in 3rd. Then it's Callum Quinn, Mike Lightfoot in 5th, Jacob Smith in the top 6, Craig Innes moving up to 7th place, good result for him, and Kenny Smith rounds out the top 8.
So Kenny starting off the pole in the reverse grid race, and there's been a bit of carnage. Talk us through what happened.
Yeah, it was a bit tough the first corner down there. They're all diving over in turn 2, and we got knocked a little bit, so it dropped us back, and then I think, I don't know, but I think looking at a TV, I think I tapped the back of Matt, which spun him around, and then 3 cars drove into him. So it was the wildest race ride I've ever seen for a long time. Jeez, it was wild. So you just got to join them. If they want to lean on you and belt doors, just belt them back. Panels are cheap, aren't they?
So, Michael, you've caught some damage there. What's happened?
Yeah, coming into turn 4, we saw Hamilton spin, and I started to slow to avoid, and I get a hit up the rear that sends me straight into him.
You were starting off the back, so you obviously get caught up in things like that. You were starting up the front again in race 3. Can we see a great finish to the weekend?
Well, let's hope we can finish it well. If we can get the car out there in time. It's frustrating after that race. We felt like we were making through the field really fast, so been a tough weekend.
So, Ash, there was all sorts of things going on the first lap. You managed to navigate your way through. You're now 5 from 5 in the championship.
It's definitely a result that we didn't expect at this stage. You know, starting back from 8th, halfway back through the field was always going to be a tough ask. But, you know, the gaps just opened up in some good places. We managed to make the most of them. And then later in the race, play it a little bit safe and wait for the right moment to make the moves.
It was really tight with John Penny into turn 1, but he obviously gave you just enough room and you took the opportunity.
Yeah, John's always been a fair racer, you know, he was good to me there just to leave me a car with that I could sneak down the inside. And no, it was definitely tight though, pulling it up and making sure that I gave him room as well. But I think we managed to do that well, and you know, John and I had a good fair race there.
John, it was all happening. You came through from 7 on the grid and you nearly had the win.
Yeah, I did. I know it was a fantastic race. It was action-packed, plenty going on. Good start again. And I think, you know, the cars ran wide and that gave us a chance to get through. But, yeah, that last lap I was sort of doing my victory speech and blew it. He just, great race to him and great credit, really. I didn't leave him a lot of room in there. Thought I only really left about a half a car length. But it was enough for him to get through and, yeah. But, hey, happy with second. Good points again. So, hey, we're making our way in this championship and it's going to be a great battle.
Reid, great start, and you must have been thinking you were in with a shot.
Yeah, I certainly did. I got a great launch off the line and into second place through the first corner. But then when the safety car came out, I sort of, wasn't so happy about that because I had a bit of a gap to second place. But nonetheless, you know, pretty happy with third. First podium of the season, so yeah, really happy.
Up next, the final race from Hampton Downs in the Toyota Finance 86 Championship from Hampton Downs.
Hi, I'm Michael Scott. I'm from Te Puke and I'm racing the Kia Vet 86 number 17. Well, I started showing some interest in the 86 Championship, seeing it was a really exciting championship to be involved in. And I got a chance to do this Kia Vet scholarship shootout. And it was originally intended for one of us drivers to get this drive for the championship. But Keith, who's doing the Kia Vet scholarship, couldn't make up his mind. Ends up giving it to both Ryan and myself to run in the championship.
Hi, I'm Ryan Yardley. I'm the driver of the number 18 Kia Vet Scholarship Toyota 86. There was a selection process of 3 drivers. At Hampton Downs, 3 of us had a test in the car. I was lucky enough to be one of the drivers to get selected to race in the 86 Championship this year, and it's a massive honour and a dream come true for me to race in the Kia Vet Scholarship car this year.
Well, after 2 years of TRS, last year I was racing Formula Ford. Narrowly missed out on the championship, ended up coming second. So we're going to have another crack at it this season, along with racing the 86s.
Yeah, it's a bit different. Obviously, there's slick tyres and they've obviously got a roof over your head, which is a bit different. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the experience. Obviously, all the cars are the same, which wasn't the case in Formula Ford. So it's great to be in everyone in all equal cars and compete myself against all the other drivers. So yeah, I'm loving the series.
The goals for the season is to sort of be competitive, try and get some race wins and good results, and see where we end up at the end.
It's great to have Michael as my teammate. Obviously, he's done TRS and things like that, a bit more Formula Ford than I have, and obviously he's got a bit more experience, so he knows a bit more about the cars and things like that. So it's great to have him as a teammate. Obviously, I can learn off him as well, which is good. So yeah, we're both learning, which is good, and sharing data, which is great.
The car's been fantastic, the Kia Vet car, but yeah, to find those limits, you got to be pushing, and we certainly had some good spins.
After an action-packed race 2, the teams have been busy, but everyone will be on the grid, trying to stop Ash Blewett. 5 from 5, can he go one better? Let's go to the track and find out.
So the race 3 grid, the second fastest times from qualifying, and once again, Ash Blewett and Michael Scott share the front row. Row 2 is John Penny and Callum Quinn. Row 3, Ryan Yardley and Reid Harker. Then on row 4, it's Matt Hamilton and Jacob Smith. Then Kenny Smith on row 5 with Bruce Tomlinson alongside. Row 6 sees Lightfoot and Stokes. And row 7, Caleb Cross, Tiffany Chittenden and Craig Innes on the final grid position. Here we go then, the final race of round 2 from Hampton Downs. It's race 3, Blewett in pole position. An important race for Michael Scott. He's got to get away well, and he needs a result from this. Blewett, though, leads the way into turn 1. Good start from Penny again as he slots into 3rd place. We're on board with Reid Harker, currently in 5th place as they head towards turn 2. Penny up the inside of Michael Scott. Scott has to take avoiding action, gets onto the dirty part of the track and goes wide. Harker looking to get past himself, but that was a big mistake there from Michael Scott. And he's wary of the fact that he hasn't had a race finish yet and just wants to finish a race. And Reid Harker, sure enough, comes up the inside and overtakes him. And the Care Vets man is taking care just to try and get a result out of this one. And Hamilton looks up the inside of Quinn into the left-hander down the hill. Can't quite pull it off. Everybody jostling for position, including this lady, Tiffany Chittenden. First time we've mentioned her. And, of course, the first female in the Toyota Finance 86 Championship. Welcome aboard. She's got bags of experience from both New Zealand and, of course, Great Britain in karting, where she was very successful indeed. But this turning her hand for the first time to the 86 and really enjoying it as they go through the last corner here at Hampton Downs. So the race starting to settle down. This the longer 15-lap main event. And at the front, as he has been throughout this season here, is the Mobil 1, number 66 of Ash Blewett, building on that lead ahead of John Penny. Quinn now putting a little bit of pressure on Penny in 2nd place. Reid Harker going very wide indeed, but holding up the rest of the field. And it looks like Michael Scott has recovered well. He's still behind Harker, but Blewett doing an absolutely brilliant job. But Blewett is smart. He's been in this championship 3 years now, hasn't won it, and he knows it all too well. And he's going to dominate while he can, because he always knows there's a possibility of a DNF or a problem somewhere down the line. And while he can dominate, he will dominate, and that's what he's doing here at his favourite circuit of Hampton Downs. The Aucklander leading the way as we go on board with one of the rookies, Craig Innes, in the number 5 post-haste racing car. Blewett then building on the lead, and Callum Quinn has got past Penny, has he? Yes, Quinn goes into 2nd place and into the long right-hander. Good driving by Callum Quinn. A mistake perhaps by Penny, because as you can see, number 99, that's Matt Hamilton, who's caught right up with Penny as well. So we've got a cracking race starting to form now for the podium. Blewett is off into the distance and building big time on that lead. He is in the zone for sure, but now back with the real battle, and Matt Hamilton now looking to try and get up the inside of Penny. Penny closes the door into turn 1. Nicely done by Penny. And a little further back, Michael Scott just holding off Kenny Smith by the looks of things. There's the teammate to Ash Blewett, that's Bruce Tomlinson, and he's got the attentions in the number 15 of Craig Innes. And round the outside, can't do it. Good defensive driving by Bruce, and bags of experience coming from Australia. Race there, and his 2nd year in the championship. Meanwhile, Callum Quinn holding off for now John Penny. Hamilton joins this battle. They go down the back straight, and that's the gap between those chasing Ash Blewett and this really interesting battle, which Reid Harker's going to join in a moment for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and soon to be 5th place. Harker coming into the fray in a moment. Back on board with Hamilton as he heads up the hill. Key corner this, got to get good driving if you can up the hill, get in the slipstream. There's a chance of an overtake up the inside or possibly around the outside at turn 1. Let's see what Hamilton chooses to do here. He comes alongside Penny, and they are side by side. Penny's got the better line, but there you go. You can go around the outside. It's a brave move by Hamilton. He's got to keep his foot in, and does he? Penny holds the line. Hamilton will try to get through, but he can't, and Penny does hold that line. But good racing here at Hampton Downs, classic stuff. And he'll build again now, will Hamilton. Where's his next possible overtake? Into the right-hander, perhaps under braking. Has to think about it, doesn't he? Can't quite get through, and just ahead of both of these two is Callum Quinn. Here's Ash Blewett, he dives into the left-hander, down through the gearbox into 2nd. Through comes Quinn, and here's Hamilton up the inside. Brilliantly done. Well, the Auckland City Toyota sponsored car goes through on Penny, and Penny will now try to see if he can get in the slipstream down the back straight. Goes round the outside. It's not easy to get round there, and he might choose to come back in, and he does. and now will try to build on getting his own drive up the hill and see if he can do exactly what Hamilton did to him, or at least attempted to do on the last lap. Here comes Penny. Up the hill they come. Reid Harker doing a good job of staying with this battle, though, and if these two fight too much, Harker will catch up for sure. Across the line they come, and look at this lead that Ash Blewett is building. No one in the distance. Callum just about in sight of Ash Blewett, who is in a world of his own right now. It's fantastic to see Blewett, who's been a stalwart of this championship, would love nothing more than to walk away. Of course, Tom Alexander on his way to the big V8s these days after winning the championship last year. Jamie McNee, of course, before that. And it's Ash Blewett's turn, he thinks. But Callum Quinn's got other thoughts. But Quinn and the rest of the field have got to get on level terms, because right now Blewett is running away with it, and he's headed for 6 for 6. Here comes Penny on Harker. Harker got past, but as you can see, John Penny repays the compliment. Not over yet though. Harker comes alongside, and he's now on the outside, and Penny will defend and got the better line, but if he can get past now Harker, he might just do it. He can't. Penny defends well, and Harker slots in. In fact, he loses time there by attempting to go around the outside. A mistake then by Reid Harker, and Penny showing his experience of Hampton Downs and pulls away from Harker. And Mike Lightfoot just behind now, and Harker's got to watch his back and watch his mirrors now too, because he's got the black and green car of Mike Lightfoot, who would love nothing more than to get some good points out of this final race at Hampton Downs. Michael Scott trying to ward off the Lord of the Rings that is Kenny Smith. And Scott defends his position, and they both dive into turn 1. And here comes Lightfoot, nicely through on Harker at turn 2. And can Harker bounce back in the number 4? Oh, Lightfoot gets so out of shape. Every race this weekend out of that turn, he's looked very leery indeed. And Harker goes back on him. Great racing between the pair of them. And this is classic Toyota Finance 86 racing. Lightfoot just goes sideways there. And that plays into the hands of Reid Harker, who makes that move stick and will try to pull away now down the back straight. Meanwhile, Callum Quinn and Matt Hamilton going at it. Hamilton with a lot of experience, but not here in the Toyota Finance 86 Championship. Really enjoying, though, racing these cars. Needs a real deft touch, they were saying. Of course, they're all identical, and it's not like karting, and it's certainly not like V8s. And you've just got to have a really deft touch to get it right, given that you're all going the same speed. You've all got a very similar setup, and there's not a lot of room to overtake. And once you do overtake, you've really got to make it stick, because you've got exactly the same power and the same capabilities at your disposal as the man next to you or the man you've just passed. And that's what Callum Quinn knows. But Hamilton doing a very good job of using his track knowledge, getting good drive out of the corners and putting pressure on Quinn. This has been a good battle all race long, and it's set to continue, I'm sure. But where will Hamilton make his move? He'll get himself into position, perhaps. Get right tucked up behind Quinn, get good drive. He thought about going up the inside here, but the wiser move would be to get a good drive out of this corner here and then try to get on the inside, and Quinn knows it all too well. Here comes Hamilton. He could make a move around the outside, but it's harder. But he's not close enough this time. And Quinn has the outside line covered, but he doesn't have the inside line covered. And Matt Hamilton almost got through there for a moment. Quinn holds on. Meanwhile, at the front, it's going to be 6 out of 6 for the 66. A brilliant display of racing all weekend long. Ash Blewett takes the checkered flag, and that's 6 wins out of 6 so far in 2015. The checkered flag is out for Callum Quinn in second place, who holds on to beat Hamilton, and John Penny, as you can see, coming round the corner ahead of Reid Harker to take the checkered flag. Confirmation then of race 3. Ash Blewett with the perfect record, 6 out of 6. Callum Quinn second place, and Matthew Hamilton in third. John Penny takes 4th place ahead of Reid Harker in 5th. Mike Lightfoot 6th. Michael Scott in 7th place, and Kenny Smith once again rounds out the top 8.
Ash, 3 from 3 for the weekend, 6 from 6 for the championship. You head into Christmas a happy man.
Yeah, it's a good Christmas present, isn't it? Look, the Mobil 1 car's just been fantastic all weekend, like it was at Pukekohe, and it's given me a lot of confidence all the way through the weekend in all sorts of conditions. And the team and the cars just work so well together. It's made the job easy, really.
So January 16 at Ruapuna. What's happening between now and then to keep the charge going?
I will just be continuing to do our usual thing, you know. We do spend a lot of time on preparation and making sure that the car is just right and just the way that we want it, and a lot of homework as well, looking over previous records that we have from those tracks. So, you know, we'll definitely be working hard to make sure that we continue to maintain the lead and hopefully extend it a little bit further if all goes well.
So, Callum, you're becoming somewhat of a Mr. Consistency for the championship.
Yeah, that's definitely sort of where we're at this point. Couple of second, a third, and a fourth for the weekend was good points again for the weekend. Definitely a big congratulations to Ash and his team, sort of for the pace and the driving they've had all weekend has just been on another level compared to all of us. So definitely be chasing him at the next round.
Matthew, mixed bag this weekend, but a good finish.
Yeah, certainly a good finish. It was great for the team to be able to get the car, up and running for that last race, and it felt really good, So we're sort of, getting closer to the front there, and Tiff went heaps better too. So we're just learning all the time, and looking forward to returning in the next round.
And after a weekend of racing, our Hydrolink best under pressure moment came in qualifying. In fact, Michael Scott doing an amazing job to keep his car off the wall. So the perfect 6 from 6 for Ash Blewett with 450 points now. Quinn and Penny still in touch though, and Matt Hamilton moves to 4th place, and Mike Lightfoot, a big improvement, he's now in the top 5.